Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight one against one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. All praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Aquakwadash, Brakate Yahweh, Brakate Yahweh Shai, Brakate Yahweh, Brakate Yahweh Shai, Brakate Yahweh, Brakate Yahweh Shai, Thawada, Abba, Baba, Ka, Kadash. I'd like to give double honors to the elders, apostles, great millstone that teaches truth, which I believe through the Spirit is 100% of the truth. I was watching the brothers' videos from Chicago, and they're doing a in live video, and they was going over, talking about the migrants, the so-called migrants that's being brought over here into Babylon the Great, and how it's causing so much dissension amongst the inhabitants, here in Babylon, and there's a lot of infighting going on, and a lot of these things, as we know, that's definitely orchestrated, it's set up by design. They're doing this because they have a specific goal at the end, and that goal is to shut down the system, create a chaotic situation that they can bring the answer to, order out of chaos. And the answer is going to be a draconian laws, man, draconian measures that they plan on bringing in and implementing over the people. Therefore, they're going to force the people to go into this new digital system. It's done on purpose, man, really to crash the system. The writing's there on the wall. It's quite obvious, through our sense, through the Holy Spirit, you're able to see these things. The average Jake, they don't see the play. Even if you tell them about the play, they're still not going to be able to see it because Jake has so much faith in Egypt, man, in his system. And he's talking about the Egyptians. It's talking about, Egyptians, talking about the modern day Egyptians, and that's these so-called rulers, here in Babylon the Great, our oppressors, those the Egyptians. And Egyptian, really, Egypt really means bondage, and we under bondage still under our oppressors. So I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. And, this thing is being divided, evenly on the line. You have your so-called Democrats, your Republicans. Then you have the ones, out here who, these so-called, what's these people, they call themselves, forget the word of it, but, they really call themselves really fighting for the country. Damn, can't think of the word of it. But anyhow, so it's a lot of division that's going on, man. And really the killing is set. The killing is something like if you starting a fire or a bonfire, say a fire pit or a fireplace, you put some dry wood in there that's easy to ignite. Then you put your bigger logs on top, that takes a little time for them to catch on, but you get your material in there that's easy to ignite, that's going to fire up, that's eventually going to burn and catch the bigger logs on fire. So the same thing is right now, man. America's set up right now. Babylon the Great is set up with a lot of killing, man. And the killing is just that fuel for this fire that's about to be set. And all it takes is the right situation, the right spark, man, to set everything off, set everything into motion. And we're in that time, man. We're definitely in that time. The Lord and the angels, all the prophecies are coming to fruition. Iniquity is abound all over the place, all type of wickedness, and our people are truly in a devastated state, and so the fire is next, man. That's the only thing that's going to have to happen, man. They're going to have to bring the fire. And a lot of these Edomites are getting roused up, man. In their mind, they see that their country is being taken over. But in reality, really, this country belongs to those ones that's really coming up here. It's really their lands, that's been stolen. So it's a lot of dissension going on, man. A lot of chaos that's going to ensue right after. And this thing, they might not be able to turn it back, once it's set off, That's one reason why they put these movies out here, the purge movies, because they call that predictive programming. They tell you what's going to happen. It's going to be a purge, man. It's going to be an insurrection. It's going to be a time of Jacob's trouble, as it's spoken of in the Bible. And unless you the men of the Lord, man, the rest of you 2/3, man, you're going to be vulnerable out here. That's why we're supposed to not trust in Egypt and put our trust in our Savior, man, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. We, first and foremost, we're not a carnal people, man. We don't have to rely on weapons and those things of nature. And those things, we're spiritual people, you know, and we're supposed to rely on our power, man. That's what's going to guide us in these times. So I'm going to go to St. Matthew's chapter 12, verse 26. If Satan is cast out, Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? So if Satan is going against himself, you know, it's like having two infractions, man. How is it going to stand, man? It's not going to happen. So therefore, it's going to implode, man. This thing is set to implode. Like I said, the killing is right. The fumes is right there. All it needs is the right spark to set it off, man. And this man right now, he's building up the hatred and the two sides against each other. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 16. For there shall be sedition amongst men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the courses of their actions shall stand in their power. Verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Same thing like in Texas, you know, they talking about bringing their own troops in, you know, and creating their own border. And you see a lot of states that's going to go against other states, you know, and the way they're showing it is pretty much evenly divided. 25 states are for, you know, and 25 for states, you know, talking about going against the union. So it's perfect divide, man. Lord has set this thing up perfectly, man. He's the master chess player, man. A man shall desire to go in a city and shall not be able to. Verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. The sword is talking about the modern day gun or any other type of weapon. Not talking about really a physical sword, but any type of weapon that can be used, you know, that's considered a sword. A man shall have no pity on his neighbor and shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. Talking about going in, just pretty much robbing and pillaging and taking what they want because of lack of bread and great tribulation. So once this thing shut down, there's not going to be any trucks out here moving and pushing merchandise and goods and food and all that. These things are going to dry up, man. So it's going to be every man for himself, you know. So all our sedition, you know, here in Babylon the Great. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And who's the he that's going to be saved out of it? It's talking about the elect men and women of Israel, man. So the women, you know, that's following, doing what they're supposed to in this truth, they're going to be saved out of it. And the elect men, you know, Lord will, we are the elect, those of us that know this truth, and we're able to endure these times that we're in and these times soon to come, you know. The great tribulation, man, the great tribulation that's yet to come. And I want to go to back to 2nd Ezra and we'll start off 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. So once this shit shut down, man, it's going to be all type of famine. You know, the supply line is going to be broken because this, you know, this places ran off a supply line. Nobody provides their own food. Nobody grows their own food. He talked about plagues, diseases, you know, which we just pretty much getting out of a pandemic, and they talking about bringing in another one. Disease X, look that up. And destruction, And verse 6, for wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. And right now, it's all type of wickedness that's all abound, all type of iniquity, man, all over the earth, man. And they push these all type of wicked agendas throughout the earth, man. Right now is a time almost as never been before, a time worse than the time of Sodom and Gomorrah when the Lord had to come down and destroy that place. Verse 8, still chapter 15, 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 8. I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And the saints, when we cry out to the Lord every day, every chance we get, man, we cry out to the Lord, man, for relief, to come take these devils from over top of us, man. We want out of here, man. We want this devil, we want recompense. We want this devil to receive his rightful justice that's long overdue, Verse 9, and therefore said the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. So that's pretty much it, man. We're in those serious, deadly, serious times, man. We're in some good times because we know what's foretold to come, man. We know that we're going to come out on top no matter what happens, So all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Pray that we're able to endure. With that, say shalom.